Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining this webinar that we put together for the BOCES in New York State. We had a couple of registrants, and I believe all the registrants that are on here, I see three that are on here right now, are associated with one of the regional information centers. Is that correct? Could you just quickly in the comment section put in which district and or region you're affiliated with? We can make this a discussion as well versus just a one-way presentation. So I'm not seeing any comments being posted, but what I have in here is we're going to go through some of the different type of tools you can use with WeVideo. WeVideo has been used obviously across different BOCES in different regions across New York State for various capacities for multimedia content creation, for screen recording, screen capturing, and also for a part of interactive learning, which was just introduced this year. What we'll focus on today is kind of navigating this and balancing between WeVideo's kind of content creation tool and multimedia content creation tool and its interactive learning tool, and the balance between using an AI assist tool with interactive learning and making sure that the learning and the work that students are producing is authentic. As I go through this, please let me know if you have any questions or things that I can answer for you. Again, because we have a small group today, I'm happy to answer them as we go along. So this is me. This is who you're speaking to. I'm kind of the regional sales manager, work with all of our districts across the Northeast. My background, I went to Penn State undergrad. That's where some of my football loyalties are pretty clear. My first teaching job was at a boarding school in New Hampshire at Kimball Union Academy, where I was a high school English teacher along with a golf and basketball coach. Went back to grad school and focused more on education policy and working at that through Middlebury College in Vermont. And a couple places I've worked in the education space on top of being a teacher was a nonprofit called World Teach, which was kind of like the NGO version of the Peace Corps. We worked with volunteers and different kind of fellows to send them overseas to middle low income countries to do some work in volunteering for 12 months. And then before I came over to this technology space in education, I worked at a private school, Miami Country Day School, as their head of communications, and did some development work there as well. And that's me in the middle at Fenway Park with, for all you Yankee fans out there, I'm sorry, with my children as well, my wife. So quickly, icebreaker again, seeing just a couple of you on here. I'm just going to do a quick part on an icebreaker. And my question to you that are out there is, what did you want to be when you were 7 years old? For me, just as a start, I like to doing this sometimes as presentation in person. I wanted to be either a psychologist or a chiropractor. So if you want to answer in the comment section, that'd be great. Okay, not seeing any comments in there. So we'll continue on with the presentation. So personalized learning, as I think about that and that term being used across the education space, is kind of the ability to meet children where they are, to make them successful, and kind of using that learning opportunity to help them be more proficient. And again, meeting students where they are and the ways that they like to show that they understand or comprehend something, it gives them an opportunity to be more comfortable and to achieve more. And just curious out there, and again, small group is what opportunities are being created for students at your schools or districts, if you'd like to share those in the comments section. Okay, not seeing any comments come in, but what I'm going to go through and continue is my next slide. So some personalized learning examples that we have on WeVideo are things like podcasts for book reviews, yearly reflections family trees and lineage, which is really nice to think about students reflecting upon where they come from, their history, their countries, locations. Digital storytelling about a community topic or a role model. How do they create a story, whether this is a short documentary or information about something that's happening inside of their area or somebody that they feel that they look up to, whether it's in a karate class or in their home. And then talk shows for second language learning. We find some of our districts using WeVideo use this particular use case to kind of develop questions and answers and do them in a live scenario to help build their language acquisition. What I'm going to do is quickly give a short demonstration, as you see here, on the WeVideo platform of these personalized learning options. So again, those a couple people who are out there using WeVideo, there is an assignment ideas area. In the assignment ideas, there's about 90 different assignment ideas that are on there. We add about 2 or 3 every month. And what you can do is you can filter these by grades and subjects, but this gives you the opportunity to create a personalized learning moment with students. And a couple of examples I'll show you is, again, podcasting. When I preview this, you can see in the podcast, it gives a lot of rich information in regards to creating a podcast. I think some students, oh, nice. I see that, Julie Ross. In the past, we made cooking shows in Spanish class. Awesome. Yeah, maybe some paella. That would be nice. So this podcasting is an example as I'm going through, which was really fun. It gets kids into an aspect of not just the idea of creating one in theory, but the details that go into it, how to write it, how to draft it out, how to scaffold it to draw attention, where to place music in, because with WeVideo, it's nice. A lot of background, both music to evoke emotion, along with different types of sounds, like a dog barking, lightning striking, things of that sort. So this particular area, it shows the ISTE standards that it hits as well, and also gives nice tips for students that are on there. So a really nice personalized learning assignment that is canned inside of WeVideo and can be used in that context, but a really, really nice regard. Another example to show you, just on the personalized learning side, is also I used to think, now I think, which I'm bringing up right here, another activity example, where this is a reflection point. I mean, I guess in theory, a student could put this into a GPT or a chat function to ask something of what they should feel typically for a 7th grader or an 8th grader. But of course, and ideally, they're probably not. But using this in a part of an assignment to create a video of, I used to think one thing, but now I've changed over the years, a really nice, another personalized learning experience that we can have as an example using the WeVideo tool. So that inevitability to make it kind of quote unquote AI proof, where you still have that part where you're using AI for efficiency and to create certain kind of check-ins, which I'll show you in a second for interactive purposes. But also you can have it where a part where you're using WeVideo for personalized learning, where they have to really critically think and thinking about how it's relevant to something that they believe in and something that's personal to them. So a lot of these fun assignments in there for those of you out there. Maybe you know these before, these can be redundant, but just some examples of being able to use personalized learning. And then all these assignment ideas, as you look at them, they have little parts as I'm sharing on my screen where you can actually take a look and see something that's completely canned that can in turn be copied by a faculty member or teacher, personalized, changed, tweaked to make it accordingly. And they kind of come along like this. Once the teacher decides, of course, that they want to use that, they can copy this into their class and again, offer a personalized learning moment for their students. I'm going to pause there and go back to my presentation. And Julie, you had put a comment in there. Julie, what do you work with a particular district or are you a particular region affiliated with the BOCES? I'm gonna wait for Julie's comment. That's all right. The next part, what we'll do with the presentation is the Ulster BOCES. Okay, thank you, Julie. Is a part that's come up with WeVideo, and is this year we had worked on interactive video and interactive learning. And an interactive video, of course, this is a place to put concept checking questions on there to show comprehension using a media type, whether this media type comes from the Vimeos of the world or YouTubes or something directly created on WeVideo. And then a nice part, thank you, Julie. Yeah. Hyde Park, they use WeVideo often. Wonderful. So the new part where I think WeVideo traditionally was done for content creation, multimedia content creation purposes, now you have the ability to overlay, of course, concept checking questions. And in this module of WeVideo, you have the ability to create these concept checking questions, which I'll show you in a second from scratch, but also to use an AI assist tool. And when I think about AI, obviously, I'm sure both as working in BOCES and affiliates and also with districts, it's something that's top of mind. What is our policy going to be like it? What does it mean to potentially cheat, to have comprehension, understanding? How do you set kind of parameters for this? And when I look at it from the AI assist tool for WeVideo, is I really think it is practical use. It'll show you in a couple minutes the ability to kind of decrease teacher prep time, right? Being able to have these certain asynchronous and synchronous lessons available to be able to be used for formative, summative assessments, for assignments, for homework, and other parts as far as when the substitute teacher may be there, or maybe there's a remote learning situation with students who have activities or have sports, or they're absent from class, whether it's due to weather or other purposes. It allows facilitators, I think about tech integrators, directors of technology, heads of education technology, to create a shared catalog of assignments and lessons. That ability to create these kind of pre-made content that sits there and can be filtered, which we'll look at in a couple of minutes, both by grade, by subject, and being able to teachers be able to copy that and use that accordingly as a resource in their class. And then we look at that AI assist tool and AI in the classroom for measurement and data. The ability to then create these lessons and then instantly be able to see who's actually accessed them, what they've looked at in regards to, are they understanding the particular topic? I'm using this tool for flipped classroom idea models, which is obviously a popular term, being able to see what the students have done on this particular area and addressing those accordingly in class, or in turn, grouping kids together. So again, a lot of ways that you can use AI specifically for WeVideo, decreasing of teacher preparation time, creating a shared catalog and pre-made content of assignments and lessons, and then again, measurement and data with these particular lessons. If you want to, in the chat, before I continue to share my screen, please feel free to put in your comments about how some of your districts or people you're working with are using AI in the classroom. So going back now to kind of the WeVideo instance, when we think about AI assistant AI in the classroom, what I'm going to do now is kind of show you on a part of how AI is used on WeVideo. So we have the part where we have the multimedia content creation. We showed assignment ideas for personalized learning. Uh, Wonderful. Esmeralda, so your high school students use the interactive video part or just use the assignment library? Esmeralda is going to put her comment down. What I'm going to do is go to the next section here and going to walk through interactive. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you, Esmeralda. So yes, interactive video, right? You have the ability to create interactive videos in WeVideo, both from scratch using a piece of content where you put the questions in strategically, or using this AI assist tool, which I kind of walk you through right now. So in interactivity, you create a new bulb, or create, as we call them, a light bulb going in your head for something that's learned, but really an interactive video module. When I go to create one of these new interactive videos, you can see as an option as it comes on, 1 second while it loads, is you have a lot of different ways you can get this information in there. It can be a video that's on a particular device, right? Whatever personalized one-to-one device the students may be using. Obviously, Chromebooks are very popular now for practical reasons and being browser-based. You can input any URL as long as it's secure. You also have the ability to use anything from YouTube or Vimeo. And when it's imported into WeVideo, it'll create its own WeVideo URL in case certain ages are blocked from using YouTube. And what's nice also with WeVideo is you can use WeVideo creation of videos to place these into these interactive formats and be able to create some questions with them. And you notice this little kind of purple pink star on top, this is the ability that AI Assist is available in these particular areas. So for this purpose, I'll go an example into YouTube. And you can put in any type of topic you want to do for this purpose for the demonstration. I'm going to put in something for eclipses. We had a lunar eclipse last night. It was a little before 11 o'clock. I'm based down here in Florida. We're able to see kind of that wolf moon down here, a portion of it. When I search for this, I now have the ability to look at different classes and topics I want to have. This is for eclipses for this purpose. As an example, I've decided on eclipses, and this is the video I'm going to be using. So now as I see, as I'm putting this together, that create new interaction is where we've had traditionally over the past year or so, where you can create things and put in questions as needed. But now for using AI, we're going to generate these interactions automatically. So when you generate these interactions, having transcript and or captions that are involved in your particular content, you decide whether it's the entire video or a specific time. So for this purpose, we're going to do it for the entire video. The way this was designed using WeVideo and interactivity is using Bloom's taxonomy. So Bloom's taxonomy of just adding to the different complexity and variation of the different questions you want to have created. So we'll pick a couple of these examples. And then we have an interaction type where, again, our questions, on top of having multiple choice, check all that apply, for your response, fill in the blank. You can also create discussion threads as well, going back and forth using video in a separate part. So for this purpose, I'll have check all that apply and multiple choice. I generate interactions, and generally as this works, it takes about 8 to 10 seconds to create these questions. And I think overall about 2 minutes to create an interactive video. And once it's completed, which again took right about that time, you have the ability again as either in a technology space or as a faculty member or using this for other sides for any type of training to edit these, make sure you check them, make sure that they're correct, decide on where the placement may be. If you want it on a certain area of the video besides the side, you can do that. And then there's obviously these advanced settings that go along where you can randomize the answer order. You can require the learner that they have to answer it, or you can allow them to skip. You can allow them to fast forward. So a lot of flexibility as these are being created. I take a look, I skip all the way through. These have now been created using that AI Assist tool. I decide that it looks okay and I review it. Now eclipses are on here. And I'm just going to put the title of eclipses in 10 minutes. And the learning objective, maybe don't look at the sun. And I can tag this based upon, as mentioned a little earlier, either for a grade. So I can put 7th grade as an example in science. So now, as this is evolving using this tool, I like to look at it. I was a previous teacher and administrator as a part of, as I mentioned in that presentation, maybe cutting down on teacher prep time, but also creating this catalog for them where they can look in and see quickly a lot of different resources. Where you think about these 2 minutes, even having 100 of these, it would take a couple of hours to create a number of them for an entire school or an entire district. I look at privacy again with WeVideo. We have a bunch of different options. It can be private just for the classroom. It can be available to anyone who has a login with WeVideo, or you can make these bulbs or interactive videos public, where they can have the ability for someone outside of WeVideo, if they have a district-wide license, a parent, a staff member, to interact with a particular video and provide feedback. So I'll save the changes. I'll make it just visible to members of the school and site. And I'm going to save and exit. And then I look at kind of our demonstration environment. Eclipses in 10 minutes. I preview this to take a look. And
we humans of planet Earth benefit from a great
mute this so we don't talk over each other. But as you look here on the bottom, there's little dots on the bottom here, which tells a learner, of course, that a question is coming up. These questions have been developed. I'm fast forwarding to one, and it'll come up with the question quickly. I'll take a look, answer these. Some I got right, some I got wrong. Instant feedback for the learner. And as you set these up, you can decide, of course, if they can skip it. You can actually set up branch learning where it can bring them back to the video they were supposed to learn it. So a lot of flexibility as these are created, and you're kind of off and running with an interactive video. I'm going to stop sharing this part. I have a question from Esmelinda. Do you have a mock account for me to explore? Yes, yes, I'd be happy to. My email I'm putting it in here right now is nolan@wevideo.com. And you can email me. Of course, we set it up, especially can set up a trial for you to use it, mess around with it for sure. Another thing too, I'll put into the chat here is WeVideo Academy gives a number of little tutorials. That's okay. I didn't think you were screaming, Julie. Uh, there's a part where you can go to WeVideo Academy. We'll give you little 1 minute, 2 minute asynchronous videos that'll be able to teach you a little bit more of using it. But yes, please email me. I'm happy to set those up for you. These kind of trial accounts so you can explore and mess around. Yeah, yeah. And not today. Not today. You're not Julie. You're not gonna use the account, or you're not screaming. So yeah. Anyway, happy to do that for anyone who wants to be able to kind of have a sandbox to play around in. Okay, good. Depends on the time of day, though, I imagine, Julie. So that's a big part. That's a little part of our AI assist tool. If you want to speak more about some of the other ways that interactivity is being used, because again, a lot of districts across New York State have used WeVideo traditionally for multimedia content creation. Now it's more of a consolidation part of both for creation and for comprehension. So just as a part for informational purposes. So as I think about it, takeaways for me and thinking about putting together this presentation and looking at WeVideo as a previous educator, is I really do think that we do a nice job of balancing between the hyper accessibility, just the speed at which AI is taking over things that we work with, and simultaneously trying to preserve some of the ways that students learn and sharing it in relation to their lives and being able to create things that have an academic lens that they don't have to use these tools for, that they're still using their head. So that's a big part for me of the takeaways of WeVideo, trying to find that balance between those two things. I'll pause there. I know there's been some chat back and forth. Other questions for me, things I can answer for you right now. And we have the group, we have a couple of you on there. Yes. Hopefully still using their heads, right, for those points and being able to express themselves. Yeah. So if there's no other questions right in here, I know we had scheduled kind of a full hour, but I'm going to make it a little shorter. Is what you can do is here's my information. If you'd like to set up a trial account or have further questions about interactivity, obviously one of our goals is as obviously educating the market and seeing what's out there. There's a lot of different options, but obviously with WeVideo, from a consolidation side and redundancy of being able to kind of have a one-stop shop for these main purposes of content creation and actually student engagement and comprehension and understanding. Any other questions I can answer for you, if Julie, Esmelinda? Sure. Great. Thank you, Julie, for sending me an email. And yeah, you want to test account, please let me know. No questions. Good. Thank you. Okay. Wonderful. Well, if any other things come up for those of you, please let me know. And yeah, reach out for those trial accounts. That's wonderful. Thank you, Esmelinda. And I think there's another one person here too. But yeah, thank you for your time today. Thank you for joining. We'll do a series of these lunch and learns, and obviously tell your districts that they need information or would like to hear more about what we do. We're here to service them. So thank you for joining us today. Have a wonderful rest of your day.